Is Elon Musk going to fight Mark Zuckerberg in a cage match? Is this the weirdest timeline we could all possibly imagine? It started when Musk replied to an article detailing Meta's plan to launch a Twitter competitor called Threads. Now, Musk wrote, quote, "I'm sure Earth can't wait to be exclusively under Zuck's thumb with no other options. At least it will be sane." Was worried there for a moment. One user replied to Musk, quote, "Be careful, Elon. I heard Zuckerberg does the jujitsu now." To which Musk responded, quote, "I'm up for a cage match. If he is, LOL."
Now, Zuckerberg has responded to Musk and agreed to go head-to-head in a cage match, writing on his Twitter story, quote, "Send me the location." I want to see this fight very, very much.
Who's your money on?
It's on Zuckerberg. I'm sorry. I don't have a good idea of the actual shape and size of Elon Musk. I don't know. Is he very tall? I don't know.
I do remember.
I know what he looks like. I can't picture him in comparison to other people.
Guess how tall Zuckerberg is?
I think he is tall.
I remember
5'10", 5'11"?
I remember seeing a picture of Zuckerberg at a congressional hearing
Sure.
with a pillow boosting his height.
Oh, he's not that tall.
And when I Google it, I confirm that the internet says he is 5'7". Now, he is in control of the internet, and we all know the rule of short kings is that there tends to be additions to one's height, and that's if you don't have as much influence with social media results as Mark Zuckerberg presumably
We all
does.
love a short king, but he does. But he is gotten in good shape. I think everybody pictures Jesse Eisenberg from the Social Network movie, who's got the kind of nerdy thing going on. But Zuckerberg, I think, does like CrossFit and stuff. I was Googling him. He's got some arms. He's using his fists. He also doesn't feel pain, right? He's a robot.
He is Android. Okay, well, how tall do you think Elon Musk is? Because wingspan matters, in these things.
I don't know.
Elon Musk is 6'1.5" inches tall.
So this is why this is an interesting matchup, because Elon is kind of a giant.
Okay, but age-wise, Elon is 51. Mark Zuckerberg, I believe, is 38. He was a year ahead of me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe he might be 39. So that is a clear advantage in terms of potentially stamina.
He does jujitsu. You need some training you can't just be you have to know how to throw a punch. You know how to do your fists a certain way so you don't hit your thumb when you go to hit somebody, because that hurts.
I feel like this could be less of a kind of a cockfight situation and more of one of those puppy Super Bowl situations, where they just let the ball on the field.
I don't usually watch the Super Bowl. Do they make the puppies fight to the death?
I think it could just be two ineffectual people flailing at each other.
I would like them to use swords. Then we're getting more into my interest.
Okay, but that's an interesting point.
While you are building a social media site, I studied the blade.
Right. I think you raise an interesting point, which is why are they choosing to fight in an arena where neither of them has any real expertise? They're two tech giants. Why isn't this a technical competition?
Like a coding
a coding war, or at least play a video game or something.
Yeah, they should play Call of Duty or something.
Now, in that matchup, I definitely put my money behind Zuckerberg, because we know that
He's
did,
a
in fact, build.
Person too.
Well, no, he built his company from the ground up. He was a sophomore in college who made an app using his brain. We know that he can code and do things. Elon Musk has a reputation of having money and buying companies and then taking responsibility.
I'm pretty sure
for them.
what Zuckerberg does in his free time is watch speed runs of video games, which is also something I do in my spare time. So maybe I'm just more partial to Zuckerberg.
Well, maybe we should just for a second about the underlying issue here. Elon Musk is mad about having a competitor. We saw this happen. This is why we don't have any more Twitter files. It was because he got so mad at Matt Taibbi for using Substack, and Substack was innovating some new aspect of their interface that he saw as competitive with Twitter. So he shut down this all-important, I think genuinely important journalistic enterprise because of his personal frustration with Matt Taibbi for using a site that he perceives to be competitive with his own. Now, he characterized Mark Zuckerberg and Meta as being all-encompassing, like somehow, what did he say in the tweet that we initially read, that I'm sure everything will be sane when the whole world is basically run by Mark Zuckerberg and Meta. That seems to be a kind of an interesting critique to make of Mark Zuckerberg when you are very much in
aspiring
that same,
the same exact thing. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Look, they're tech rivals. And that's fine. And this, like, we're not taking this seriously, obviously. They have a rivalry. I actually think it's kind of funny that they're engaging back and forth in this way. If Jack Dorsey was to come back into the picture, I think he would win in a fight.
Oh, I think that he can just meditate
I think he could use
so hard.
his mind.
He can, exactly.
Psychic. Yes, we're picturing the same thing. The psychic.
Exactly. So substantively, what do you make of the idea? Do you think that there's space for Meta to compete in the Twitter realm? Elon characterized Meta as having stolen ideas from Instagram and these other companies. I thought that Meta just bought those other companies, and Instagram is Facebook and all of those kinds of things. But there have been efforts, obviously, since Elon Musk bought Twitter for people to go to Mastodon or some of these other sites that don't seem to have been really genuinely competitive. Do you think that Elon has cause to be really worried now that one of the biggest players in the game, who already does have an infrastructure that have these overlapping programs that are integrated with each other, if he gets into the Twitter space, should Elon Musk be worried?
I mean, Zuckerberg and Facebook consciously made decisions to make their platform less like Twitter in a way that, as I've talked about numerous times on the show, devastated the news and journalism industry. Because for all the attention we pay to Twitter, Facebook always had way more users, visits. In the time period where social media was a big part of traffic to news websites, Facebook dwarfed Twitter. It was much more going on.
Well, it still does.
At Facebook. Well, now they're basically nothing.
Well, no.
Both of them are basically nothing. No, I mean, they still have more users, but they're not directing traffic to websites. My point being, because the news feed, the algorithm on Facebook doesn't have a lot of outside links anymore. It punishes offsite links. And there used to be a lot of conversation that'd be occurring in the comments under there. Honestly, there was probably a time maybe 5-7 years ago where I was probably involved in as many conversations about the kinds of conversations you were having on Twitter, at least until like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That was just as prevalent on Facebook. And it was among more people I actually knew. But then at some point, Facebook decided to deprioritize that on this concern it was too nasty and harmful and toxic.
It is worth noting, Facebook has 3 billion people using it monthly.
Sure.
That means roughly 37% of the world's population are Facebook users. That's more than 200 million businesses use Facebook tools and more than 7 million advertisers. YouTube is next with 2.2 billion users a month, then WhatsApp with 2 billion. Instagram with 2 billion, WeChat 1.26 billion, TikTok 1 billion. Notice we haven't gotten to Twitter yet.
Yeah.
Weibo 573 million, something called QQ, I've never heard of, with 500,000. And Telegram, 500,000. Snapchat, 500,000. I'm still not down to Twitter. I remember reading a stat about
absolutely.
Here we go. Twitter down here at number 14 with 238 million monthly users.
Yeah, it's always been overemphasized, the importance of Twitter, because it's the preferred social media site of elite policy makers and journalists themselves. Now, I will say, though, counting active users here, I guess I would, I would count as an active user of Facebook, because like the photos I post to Instagram are automatically reposted onto Facebook, but I haven't shared a piece of content or made a comment or do anything other than, once a month I might open the app, scroll through it, like a photo of my nieces and nephews, and like that. I'm not using it in any meaningful or constructive way.
Facebook, it's Instagram. Mark Zuckerberg owns Instagram. I use Instagram every single day, and my Instagram posts automatically push to Facebook. So
but
is
not
he going to be able?
Twitter sort of way.
But is he going to be able to continue to use that infrastructure, which is unparalleled in people's desire to have integration between these apps, to push Twitter out and to kind of enter into the market with more of a market share than some of these other Mastodon type places where you're needing to sign up for something from scratch, as opposed to saying, here's a prompt where you already have all my information. Let me auto-populate this new universe and have all of the connections with all of my friends and all of the stuff pre-existing.
Yeah, I think it would be great to see these companies compete for users. A competition would be good, and offer the best platform that is user intuitive and lets users have control of their experience in terms of moderation, and has commitments maybe to free speech that are actually honest and followed through on. Compete on all those grounds while offering privacy. Do it all right and be the better experience and site that offers that. that would be great. So I'm loving to see this battle, not just the actual fist fight they might have, but the battle to make a better
a race to the top.
Site.
Love to see it.
That would be great. All right, tomorrow, Jessica Burbank and Amber Athey will take the reins for Friday's show. Stay tuned for that.
Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss any of this gripping content. And for those of you who like to listen while you're on the go, you're now available anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Have a good weekend.
Bye-bye.